Well, if you thought the House Republican effort, this story, just get ready. This is bonkers. I don't think we've had a show, by the way, like this in a really long time. Just how many incredible stories there are. If you thought the House Republican effort to expose Biden's corruption could not get any more humiliating for Republicans, you thought wrong, okay? Because now I have for you, this is insane. The guy who is trying to expose these very same allegations to be correct against Biden that were around a long time ago, and a close associate at the time of Rudy Giuliani, is writing to House Republicans saying, listen, I'll come in and testify to tell you how meritless your accusations are that I also was trying to expose. I looked into it and it's not true. What? Take a look at this. This is being reported on from Mediaite. Giuliani pal Lev Parnas tells Comer he's willing to testify Biden corruption probe has no merit. Now, who is this Lev Parnas? So, number one, he was convicted of crimes in regard to attempting to or making illegal campaign contributions to Donald Trump. So big Trump supporter and associate to Rudy Giuliani. And while Trump was president, they expected Biden to eventually become Trump's opponent in the general election. And so throughout Trump's presidential term, Giuliani and his associate Lev Parnas were going out trying to expose Biden's corruption, get dirt on Biden. And eventually we got that moment where Trump was on the phone with Zelensky trying to get dirt that way. But Lev Parnas was out trying to expose Biden in some way so that when the election came around, they would have really good dirt on him. And he looked into it, and now is saying, listen, James Comer, guys, it's not there. Okay. It's just, these are bogus accusations. And the ridiculous part is it doesn't matter. They'll still pretend like all this is true because of their just complete priority of going after Biden. Lev Parnas, the former Rudy Giuliani associate who was central to Trump's scheme to find dirt on the Bidens in Ukraine, sent top House Republicans a letter Tuesday saying he was willing to testify that their probe into corruption allegations regarding President Joe Biden and his family has no merit. Parnas, who was sentenced to 20 months in jail for illegal campaign contributions to Donald Trump, detailed his connection to the former president's efforts to smear Biden, his then likely general election opponent. Quote, Giuliani tasked me with traveling to Ukraine throughout March, April, and May 2019 to interview different people who had promised to give us information, evidence, including records of bribes, bank records, and incriminating tapes, Parnas claims. Yet every time I went on these trips and conducted these interviews, I came up with nothing. And just stick with me on this because I try to only read little bits of articles, but there's so much from this that is really incredible. From November 2018 to October 2019, I was a key participant in and witness to these efforts. In every event described below, I was either physically present in the room with the people involved, on phone calls with Giuliani and the individuals in question, often interpreting between the Ukrainian and English languages, or communicating directly with Giuliani about the situation. Please consider that the facts I state here have never changed from when I first submitted to Congress everything I knew in November of 2019. With all due respect, Chairman Comer, the narrative you are seeking for this investigation has been proven false many times over. This is a guy who went to jail for donating illegally to Trump's campaign and was a Giuliani crony. And he's saying this. The narrative you are seeking for this investigation has been proven false many times over by a wide array of respected sources. There is simply no merit to investigating this matter any further. I'm willing to testify under oath in Congress regarding any of these matters and answer any questions that you might have or provide you with any text or correspondence in these situations I have described in this letter. So I'll read a little bit more from this in a moment, but every time I think this overarching story can't get any more bonkers, ridiculous, stunning, it does. And I thought the climax of that was going to be us finally figuring out who this credible whistleblower was and him turning out to be a fugitive who was anything but credible. But no, now we're having a guy who was on behalf of Giuliani and thus Trump trying to find the very evidence of the very crimes that now James Comer is kind of bringing back from the dead and House Republicans are. And he's saying, it's not there. You can look, and it's not there. Here's the thing, though. In the case of Lev Parnas, he actually wanted to, because it would have made his associates happy, and maybe and obviously his own political motives, get evidence of Biden's crimes so that they could hurt Biden in the election. That was actually his goal. House Republicans, they think it would be nice to get evidence, sure, but they don't really care because they know this stuff. They know that it's ridiculous. And they still will continue to lie about President Biden because the purpose is not actually exposing Biden's crimes and then holding him accountable for them. It's hurting Biden politically, and at least muddying the waters with all these investigations and all these lies will do some of what they're hoping to do without evidence even being necessary, which is the heartbreaking part and enraging part. Okay, a little bit more. Parts in the same letter continued. Throughout all these months of work, the extensive campaigns and networking done by Trump allies and Giuliani associates, including the enormously thorough interviews and assignments that I undertook, there has never been any evidence that Hunter or Joe Biden committed any crimes related to Ukrainian politics. Never during any of my communications with Ukrainian officials or connections to Burisma did any of them confirm or provide concrete facts linking the Bidens to illegal activities. This part is really funny. In fact, they asked me multiple times why our team was so concerned with this idea. The truth is that everyone from Giuliani and the BLT team to Devin Nunes and his colleagues to the people at Fox News knew that these allegations against the Bidens were false. There has never been any factual evidence, only conspiracy theories spread by people who knew exactly what they were doing. And then James Comer responded, I don't think that's credible. Okay, so the fugitive is credible, but the guy who up until this point has been really loyal to your side of the political conversation, speaking out against your actions, that's not credible at all. A guy who's been in the room for a lot of the moments that we're supposed to be exposing the evidence that you're talking about. Man, and I'll close on this. Jamie Raskin, during a recent House Oversight Committee hearing, saying this.
The majority's long-promised star witness turns out to be a fugitive from American justice, an arms trafficker indicted on 8 federal criminal felony counts and an unregistered foreign agent for China who tried to trade Chinese arms for Iranian oil. So I guess he's not going to be a witness for the majority anytime soon. Well, after the failed SARS reports, bank records, Form 1023, we can conclude that this Inspector Clouseau-style quest for something that doesn't exist has turned our committee into a theater of the absurd, an exercise in futility and embarrassment. The majority's long promised...
Absolutely. Theater of the absurd. Hits the nail on the head. As I've said before, you just can't write this stuff. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before all the clips are able to be uploaded to the YouTube channel, plus get the bonus show on the weekends, you can do so by going to lukebeasleyshow.com/membership. That's lukebeasleyshow.com/membership, and there's a link in the description.